Okay, 3511, Module 6 through 9, Chapter 4, Problem 8. Okay, this is a pretty good problem to give you an opportunity to review how you handle discontinued operations. So they tell us to provide a revised set of condensed income statements, and they give us this information. So we know that this is incorrect. Our task is to know where it's incorrect, okay? Well, a couple of things we have to realize, okay? We have to take our operating income for 2013, and we have to include in that this loss, okay? So it should not be taken out up there. It has to be treated separately, okay? And we have to do the same thing here. So let's start by just doing that, okay? And let's put those back in. So when we add the operating income with the losses that were taken inappropriately, we come up with $3,285,000 and $1,585,000. Okay, and that's just taking the income and including that loss, because they took that loss out to come up with that, so we have to put it back in there, okay? So we do that, and then we'll do our income tax, which in this problem is 20%. I don't know where they live, but I want to move there, okay? They have 20% tax rate, which is still higher than Mitt Romney, but better than everybody else gets. So we have to take 20% of 3285 and of that, and we come up with our income tax expense, or provision for income taxes, of $657,000 and $317,000 respectively. So now our revised, our corrected income, 2628 and 1,268,000. Okay, now we have to handle the discontinued operations. Well, the discontinued operations, we have to figure out how much we sold it for. There was no impairment. The division was sold for $55.70. The book value was $47.80. So we have to figure out the gain on that. So that's $55.70 was what we sold it for. Our book value was $47.80. So $790,000 was our gain on the disposition of this asset. But remember, with that, we get to offset that against any discontinued operation losses we've recognized. So in year one, we'll take year one being the most recent year, $495, okay? So we take $790. Find a spot so you can see it. $790 minus $495,000. That's our income from discontinued operations this year, $295,000. We picked up all the gain this year. Now, that means that last year's remains unchanged. So that was a loss. This is income. That's a loss. Now we have income tax on that, and there's tax on both. We have to pay tax on this. We get a tax break on this. So if we're looking at just the benefit, the total reduction in our taxes, we get 20% of that. So our tax benefit here is $79,000. And our tax benefit here is sort of an anti-benefit because we had income, so it made our tax go up by $59,000. You have to understand that we're looking at the tax benefit here. So because we had income, this was not really all of that was not ours. We had to pay that much in taxes, okay? So that income or loss on discontinued operations here was $236,000. Okay, because we made this, but we had to pay that in taxes. Now again, here we have a tax benefit because this reduced our taxes by this amount. So the net of tax loss on discontinued operations is the difference between those. So that gave us a net of tax benefit or loss of $316,000. Now we combine those two to get that, and when we do, this comes to $952,000, and these two together comes to $2,864,000. So that's the piece we had to work out. And then it asks you to fill in some questions, and we'll go through and do these. And I'll just use the ones that are already printed out so you're not trying to read my scratchy handwriting.